If you taking jabs in life, you ain't got a puncher's chance. Watch me lay these hands like a preacher gained a bunch of fans. Ain't about who the favorite, who the best, they a bunch of stands. Know I'm highly favored cause these fists got me out many jams. They say fight the power, but I got power to fight now. Know we gon' be barking at the way and tell them pipe down. Jab, right hook, uppercut, you see the light now. Now the crowd begging for the KO like right now. Never took an L with my chin up, fold them like a sit-up. Trainer going pops, Craig, get up. Never took an L with my chin up, fold them like a sit-up. This trainer going pops, Craig, get up.
Welcome to the About the Head podcast, where everything stays in the square circle. We are your hosts, CJ, Greg, the Boston enthusiast, and Tez. We got a special guest with us. But before we start the interview, I got to do my introduction to my brother. From Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, coming from Capital Punishment Boxing Club. Big shout outs to Coach Jose Martinez and Carlito Perez. 9 wins, 0 losses, 7 of those by way of KO or Shadow Realm, like the Boxing Head podcast say. 2-time national champ, ranked number 2 in the nation before going pro, was ranked number 1 152 pounder at the age of 19. Let's give a round of applause for the hard-hitting future welterweight champ. He is the definition of perseverance and grit. Angel Sharpie Perez, welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh man, no problem, man. We appreciate you, man. So we're gonna get this right started off, man. Like you have a great story. You're a great fighter, a great young fighter coming up indeed. Your whole family's been boxing, like the whole family, like everybody's been boxing. So the first question I want to ask you is I want you to talk about your journey in winning your first national title, just that whole journey that you have.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while. I have, as everyone knows, I have brothers in the sport of boxing. My younger brother, my twin brother, Antonio Perez, he was a 2-time national champ before I can even become my first-time national champ. So I was obviously I was trying to follow in his footsteps, even though he's the younger brother. I was just trying to follow his footsteps and win a national tournament. And prior to me winning that national tournament on my journey, I suffered a severe leg injury. I actually thought my boxing career was over after this injury. The doctors had told me I was never going to be able to play any sports or do any physical activities the way that I used to do them. They told me I was going to be sitting out for over a year, but I actually came back after 6 months. I had some rods in my legs. They told me I was going to have to keep those in for at least a year. I actually ended up getting them taken out after 6 months, and during those 6 months, I was actually training boxing with the rods in my leg. I was just so dedicated and wanted to get back into the sport. But yeah, with that being said, the minute they took the rods off, they did tell me to slow down a little bit. I did listen, but also, put in a lot of work. Even though I couldn't use my legs, I was moving my hands. So as soon as I got the rods off my leg, I was back into the gym working. And the very next national tournament is coming up 3 months later, I believe it was. So I was getting ready for that. I wanted to secure a national title, and it was actually going to be my last year competing in that tournament because due to my age, I think I was 15, and they didn't go anywhere. They didn't go further in age than 15, and it's a huge national tournament for the young age kids like I was. But and it's a huge tournament. So you have to fight. You have to go through 3 ranks. First, it's the local area, so PA. Then it's regionals, and then it's nationals. So I beat everyone in the PA for in the state. I fought 2 fights there. And I went to the regionals, which was in Philadelphia, but we had people from our region, which was like Ohio, a couple other cities. They came over to Philadelphia. I won 2 fights there, so I'm already at 4 fights in a matter of 2 months. And then we went to the national tournament, which was located in, I want to say it was Louisiana. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. I went there, and I was told we were going to fight 5 days straight, but I ended up fighting 3 days straight because I had a bye and then also had a opponent pull out. But before I got there, I actually got sick on the way. We drove all the way. It was about a 12-hour drive, I believe. I drove there, and I got sick on the way there. And I had to fight 3 days back to back, being sick, with tougher opponents. So I fought in a weight class that was actually higher than my usual weight class. But I got the job done.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to show people this real quick before we go to the next question. So Angel's injury that he mentioned, that's what he had on his leg, and check him out. He's still in the gym working with it on his leg, and like for people who don't understand like boxing, like everything comes from your legs, like anything, everything. So like I can just imagine the pain you had to fight through. Like even punching, because everything comes from the legs on up. Yeah, so that's very profound, man. Like that's the heart of a champion, and that's how we know you're gonna be a future champ.
Yeah, there were some days where I was training with those rods in my legs, where I'd come home and I'd be hurting, but I'd get up and do it the next day again.
Beautiful, man.
Was it a lot of was it bleeding at times?
Yeah. Sometimes it would bleed if I was doing a little too much.
Grit.
Yeah.
Go ahead, G.
Yes, sir. Well, I actually want to ask a question. So you did say that you got siblings that fight as well. How competitive was the household like growing up? And when did y'all start discovering like, hey man, hey, we can fight? Like, was it like some memories that you got that, hey, me and my siblings got into it,
if you want me to.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers, we were competitive.
Just give me a good one. Just give me a good one.
Oh, you want a good one? All right, cool. So my very last tournament, I fought 5 fights in total. My last opponent, his name was Amari Jones. He actually just won bronze in the last Olympic tournament. Both my brothers fought him, and they both beat him, and I lost to him. And I would not hear it down until now. They still tell me that they beat him, and I suck, and that they're better than me, and stuff like that. That's just one. But growing up, we fought a lot of the same people, like a lot, because we were always around the same weight class, and we're almost all the same age. But that's one that I can never let down because it was my last amateur fight, and I lost to someone that they both beat.
Yeah.
They hunted over your head, probably.
That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Ted. You had a question too? I know you had a few questions, Ted.
Yeah, I got a question. All right, so I got to see one of your fights. I guess it was your first fight. It was a first round knockout. I kind of see like kind of your fight style, but what's your preferred fight style?
I'm more of a boxer. Once I moved over to the pro rankings, though, I kind of lost. I kind of started sitting down on my punches more because I started hitting a lot harder once I turned pro. And even prior to turning pro, like my last tournament, I was knocking people out, and like training camps, I was hurting people. So like beginning of my professional career, I was more so sitting down on my punches and brawling with everyone. But now, if you look back at my last fight, I kind of got away from that because it takes a lot out of you, and also I was hurting him too much. I wasn't putting on a show for my fans, and I wanted to get back to my old ways, which was boxing. And that's what I started working on. And my last performance, I showed that, and I want to continue showing that.
Do you remember when your first ever knockout was? Like the first time you hit somebody that hard, and you like, oh shoot, I got him.
Yeah,
remember
actually, it was so I mean, I've heard a lot of people in sparring and stuff like that. My first knockout was actually my last national tournament. I had fought. It was my first. So my last tournament was actually my first adult tournament. It was the first time I fought anyone that was older than 18. So I was going against a young adult. I was 19. He was 24, 26, I believe. So I didn't even have my manpower yet. And it was the second day in the tournament. The first day I won unanimous decision, and I scored an 8 count by dropping the guy. But second day, I was kind of nervous because I didn't know much of him, and I seen him. I seen he had a couple fights, and I believe he was nationally ranked as well. But going into the fight, I seen how strong he was, how much bigger he was than me, because I was actually small at 152. I was small. I was short. I'm only 5'7", so I was going against people that was over 6 foot. This guy had to be like, I want to say 5'11" at least, and he was pretty built. But going into the fight, I was just thinking I had to box and move, and I did just that. And then in the first round, we got into an exchange, and he hit me with a pretty good shot that I felt, and I had like my head had lifted up, and he came back at me, and I hit him with a pretty good shot, and I dropped him. And going into the next round, second round, he came at me pretty strong. Almost caused me falling back due to him pushing forward with his aggressiveness. So he had me kind of tucked in a corner, and I started slipping shots. And next thing you know, I hit him with a huge left hook, and I put him out. And that was the first time I ever experienced that. And it was
I know you like, ooh.
Yeah, especially with a headgear. Oh man, it was best.
You got real power. You knocking people out with headgear on?
Yeah, that's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah.
That's why we wear it, to protect them. But there was nothing stopping that.
With that being said, Angel, I got a question, because I was watching your fight too, man, and I noticed, man, you're very good at, like, you'll get your shots off, but you're very good at your distance. When I was watching your first fight, I noticed when you were welling off on my man, he threw a hook, but when he threw it, he completely missed. So when I watch you fight, I kind of get like, you remind me of Errol Spence Jr. a little bit. But from your perspective, who would you say that you fight similar to?
I think I fight similar to either Bud Crawford or Bud Crawford or like a Gervonta Davis.
I can see that too. Yeah. I laughed because here at Belleza Head podcast, we was all traumatized from the loss with the Errol Spence Jr. at Crawford fight. So we laughed like that because we still a little traumatized off of that fight. So go ahead, G.
I got a quick one. So since we've been doing this, we always ask boxers, or we run across people who are getting ready for a big event. Do you have any mental or physical preparations that you do for a fight, or just something that's, I gotta have some French toast, or do you got any like pre-game, rituals that you do?
Like leading up to my fight, or like say like the day of my fight?
Or day of. Yeah,
All
or just day of is cool.
So day of, I make sure I get up, check my weight, because I usually don't want to go into my fight weighing a little too much. check my weight, and typically skip breakfast because breakfast usually is a lot of sugars, and I usually want to skip that and just rehydrate, because if after hydrating too much at night, you could wake up sometimes dehydrated. So I try to rehydrate in the morning with fruits. So that would be my breakfast, fruits. And it would be like watermelons and stuff like that, pineapples. And then I usually do a little bit of shopping because I want to get my feet. I don't want to be too lazy because after weigh-ins, I eat and I like to relax. So I'll eat a lot, relax, and go home, and I usually sleep it off. Wake up the next day, I usually go shopping, especially when it's in Harrisburg. I just go shopping just for a little bit. But I do a lot of meditating in between that. Speak with my brothers, talk to my coach, speak with my uncle, just go over the game plan a couple times in a day. Also reach out to my coach, let him know what I'll do in that day, and he'll tell me either slow down on my eating or whatever the case may be. I typically go to my uncle for that. He knows a lot about nutrition and everything, so he helps me out in those aspects. But I pray a lot, so I do that, meditate, and I just kind of sit back and relax, honestly, and just go over the fight plan in my head over and over and over.
That's always it's always crazy how many different answers we get. But I think that shopping is kind of smart too, because I feel like you get maybe like a lot of motivation from that. It's kind of like, all right, this is this is me balling right now, but it could be better than this. I just got to stay focused, and you get to walk around, get the legs going. So yeah, I like that.
Yep. And there's one thing you said that I love that you said that I haven't really heard. You said you pray and you meditate. I think that's so important because, like, of course, we on the outside of the ring watching, but like every time a fighter get in that ring, there's a 50-50 chance that you may not leave out that ring. And you have fighters who leave out the ring, and a few days later, you know what I mean? So that's so important that you said that you pray and you meditate, because that's the reality of boxing. Boxing is unnatural because you going in the ring and you hurting this guy. This guy hasn't done nothing wrong to you, but you got to take him out.
Yeah, the hurt business.
He did do something wrong. He got in the ring with me.
Yeah. I know Ted's got a question for you too.
Yes, sir. All right. So what's your dream fight?
Oh, my
Like,
dream fight.
Guess who? Yeah, guess who?
I would like to fight Teofimo Lopez.
At what weight?
Either 140, 147.
Okay.
Whichever weight why Tio?
Yeah.
I used to be a big Tio fan, like really huge Tio fan around the era of Lomachenko, whenever he beat Lomachenko. But I kind of got off that. I just don't like who he is as a person as of right now. He's
yeah.
I mean, he's made some pretty good fights happen, but his performances are on and off. And I know a couple people he's gotten in the ring with, sparred with, and stuff like that. And I just want to be the person to shut him up.
You know what? I believe you will. I believe you'll send him straight to the shadow realm too. Nah,
I don't know who worse, Tio or his daddy. To be honest, I think his dad kind of makes it worse. He just do the most, and yeah,
his dad's the most. So look, you're in Pennsylvania, right? And we talking about 147. Have you ever ran into Jerron Bucinis or encountered Jerron Bucinis? Because I know the state of Pennsylvania got some fighters.
Nah, he's a lot older than me.
Gotcha.
But I mean, we're around the same weight class. My weight class is actually 140. I just mainly fought at 147 due to hard fights. Like I'll be set up for 140, and then last minute fights will fall off, and then I gotta get a last minute opponent. And usually it's always around the 147 weight class. But I actually don't want to fight at 147 anymore. Like I said, it's just the height, and I'm actually more compact. I'm a smaller guy, so 140 is actually a great fit for me.
Okay.
But Boots, nah, I mean, I've never ran into him. We've never sparred or anything like that. I would love to work with him and the people at his gym, um, just to get that experience because he is one hell of a fighter.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So, I have a question. Well, G, did you have any more questions, G? I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure. So knowing that the boxing game it's a man's sport. It's treacherous. You got to eat well. You got to all the things that boxing come with. What's the one piece of advice that you've received from somebody that just kind of made this all make sense to you? What did that person say? If you can remember who it was, that'd be good too. But what was it that somebody said that just, okay, this makes sense, and I'm gonna live by this, and it's been carrying you on? If you can just remember that one piece of advice.
I could. So I got an older cousin. His name's Mikey Rosado. He used to train. He used to box, and I kind of got into boxing a lot because of him. And one piece of advice he told me was, you got to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your way of living so that you could live a better lifestyle later on in life. That's one thing that stuck with me. So I sacrificed all these things throughout my whole boxing career. Kind of gave up, having a childhood. Well, not really a childhood. Not that I didn't have a great childhood. I just didn't experience a lot of things that other kids did due to the fact that I was a boxer. And honestly, I'm actually okay with it because I'm doing a lot better than the kids that were having fun and partying and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's real.
What's up?
Tez, you got anything?
Yeah. All right. So I know you're in PA. So it's a big boxing town out there. So are you playing there, or do you have plans on leaving, like going to Vegas or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't want to stay in PA, honestly. I recently, when my brother had fought in Florida, just seeing the fight scenery out there, I want to move out there for sure. Florida is that's like the center of boxing. There's like a lot of great work out there, a lot of great gyms, a lot of promotion companies. It's almost as if it's another Vegas out there.
Right. So that's your plans to move out there?
Yeah, I want to move out there for sure.
Okay.
Oh, you'll be out there real fast because the way you sending these guys to the shadow realm, like, so the shadow realm, that's another word that we use for KO. I don't know if you watched Yu-Gi-Oh back when you was a kid, but like every time they do it, somebody got sent to the shadow realm, and it was just like a place just full of voidness. So we use shadow realm, like with the skill you got, and it'll be a question that we ask you later on because boxing is changing right now as far as like the politics and things like that. What we're gonna do now, everybody, we're gonna go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll kick it more with Angel.
Nothing in this world can stop the sunshine.
And we are here, and of course, this is the Resilient Radio Stream YouTube channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. I hope y'all are enjoying it so far. Of course, before we get back to the interview, of course, I have to spread my good news. If you're tuned in right now and you love music or different types of genre of music, go ahead and if you have an app, go ahead and go to your app store or go to your Play Store and type in Resilient Radio Stream and download the app. If you're not too much in apps and you're kind of old school, you can always go to www.resilientradio.net. What I'm going to do right now is actually tell you a few shows that they have per week, and we're a bit family from podcasters, from music stations, and everything. So we have The Quiet Storm Monday through Thursday from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Also, we have on Tuesdays, we have the Totally 80s show that airs on Tuesday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. with DJ Alan Khan. Also on that Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. we have Toxic R&B with Lucy L. Vaughn, and she has her Toxicity Hour from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also, we have the Grand and Glorious, the variety music show with Resilient J. Oh man, it's a music melting pot with many genres of music. Make sure you check that out. That is on Friday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. On Saturday, we have the 90s music show with DJ Prasmatic. That's on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And also, actually, on this YouTube Resilient Radio YouTube channel right now, we have the Ultimate Line Dancing Show that's organized at Molly's Bar and Grill in Danbury, Connecticut. So if you're in a line dancing or if you want to learn line dancing, you guys go ahead and check that out. And also coming real soon, we're going to have Detroit Girl Transform. The first airing will drop February of 2025 with Tony Carter right here on the Resilient Radio Stream YouTube channel. Make sure y'all check that out. So if anybody's tuned in, this is the perfect time. Right now we have a 6-month toilet paper giveaway. Yeah, you heard it correct. There's a question that I'm going to post right here, and if you get it correct, email us at boxingheadsllc@gmail.com. If you get this answer right, you will get a 6-month supply of potty products toilet paper, and it comes delivered straight to your door. So the question is, what sport did Errol Spence Jr. play before starting his boxing career? If you know that answer, email us at boxingheads, and I'm going to put the email address right here. And just in case you have any advertisement opportunities that you want to explore, go ahead and email us right here at this email address. If you know that question, email us as well. I'm going to show it again. What sport did Errol Spence Jr. play before starting his boxing career? So before we jump back in, I know we've been talking about Angel and the great power that he has when he knocks people out. But you know what? You don't have to take our word for it. I'm going to actually show you the power of Angel Perez. So, of course, this is for fair use and for fair use only. And I'm going to pop his video, and you're going to see someone get sent to the shoutout round.
Can't eat.
Woo! Hey, Andrew,
like,
hey, Andrew, guess what I call that? When somebody get knocked out and they like this, that's called a canvas angel.
For sure.
You know how snow angel, canvas angel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got some comments in here too. So we got a comment from Mark D'Amigo said he's killing them. Oh yeah, Angel is killing them for sure.
That's my sponsor movers for me.
Hey, shout outs to you. Appreciate you joining in.
For
and
sure.
thank you. We got the Brazilian radio stream. You said you never want to go to the shadow realm. No, you don't. Because sometimes you wake up and your ancestors is picking you up off the floor, telling you it's not your time yet. Oh yeah, and also for anybody who's tuned in, remember that question I put. Tune in. Look, this is free toilet paper, guys. Like when stuff happened on the news, people running to the store and getting toilet paper and fighting. Like, look, you get 6 months supply, so you don't have to go to the store and fight anybody for the last piece of tissue. So we are back, and Angel, I love this question that I'm about to ask you. Before I ask you that question, I want to give a big shout out to your brother, Antonio Perez, who is the WBC international champ right now. So he's in the ranking. So, you know, Turkey may be giving him a call. Turkey. But this is my question I have for you, and I want you to imagine this. So I know you and your brother are probably different weight classes, but just imagine you guys are in the same weight class, and you're the unified champ. You got 3 of the belts, and the only person that got this one belt that's stopping you from being undisputed is your brother Antonio. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna throw Montana in there too. What are you going to do? Are you going to move up, or are you going to fight your brother?
He's gonna actually have the choice. He's either gonna have to move up or he's gonna have to fight me because I need that last belt. So whatever I gotta do to get that last belt.
So I got a question.
And you know what? I think the difference between that is like when you come from a fighting family, they have that mentality. You know, because you don't have that mom that's like, no, you guys are brothers. You're not going to be fighting each other. You know, that fighting family, like, hey, you better move because I'm not playing with you.
So
and ain't nobody gonna save you.
Yeah, Angel. So you know what I'm about to do next, right? So you said, so say like he said, you know what, bro, I ain't moving up. Let's get it. So what is your game? So because this is, just imagine this would be very hard for like Capital Punishment Boxing Club, Uncle Carlito. Like it'll be real hard for the family. Like so. How do you see that fight happening? I know I'm starting something right now, but how do you see that fight happening?
I would like to make that our last fight of our careers. That way we can go off into retirement happy. But I see it playing out as, I mean, I know we're brothers, but it can only be one winner. So he's going to have to train his way. I'll go about my way, train my way. May the best man win when it comes to that point in time.
Yeah.
Angel Savage.
The reason why I asked you that too is because, you know, the Hello brothers, I know they interviewed them one time and they was like, their mom told them that to never fight each other, and they promised their mom not to fight each other. But you like, nah. So it sounds like when you get in that ring, bro gonna have to be on his defense, or he's gonna get a ticket to the shadow realm. It sounds like.
Sounds like it.
Hey, that's some. That sounds like something that the kids would never lay that down. My daddy knocked your daddy out.
Yeah. Ted, you had any questions? You had any more questions, man? Or anything you had in mind in your head?
Oh yeah. All right. So if you could set up a card with you and your brothers versus another pair of brothers in boxing,
who would it be? Let me think of who's all out there. The said brothers around our weight class.
You got the Vargas brothers. You got the Davis brothers.
You know what? I can see all of those. Actually, that's crazy. You said that. The ones that would make the most sense would be the Vargas brothers, Puerto Rico versus Mexico.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, for
That'll
sure.
sell out.
For
And
sure.
I'll be there too, man. And
Absolutely.
I'll be on your corner. I'll be on your ring side. I'll be coming out. Me, G, and Tez come out with you. Yeah,
Yup.
that'll be live. I'm gonna have to get like a good suit to wear. Yeah.
You coming out looking
We
like
can
Steve
act,
Harvey.
with the Vargas brothers, we can actually do all three. That's the crazy part.
Mm.
I can fight the Otis, Tone fight. I think his name's the General, and then Montana can fight the other.
After you're done with him, he's gonna be a foot soldier.
All three of them.
G, did you
That's
have
nice.
anything, man?
No, I'm fresh out of questions because I think he answered my last one already in the beginning. It was just, what was one of the biggest things that you had to overcome, or challenging moment you had in your career. But after seeing that rod in your leg, I don't really think nothing really could get past that. I mean, but if you had some other challenging moments, you could definitely let us know. But I'm sure that first one probably took it all.
Yeah, that was definitely my hardest one for sure. I mean, actually, there's a lot. There's actually one that I still deal with. I broke my shoulder when I was younger. So I have no feeling in my arm from up here. It's about right here. And I still deal with that pain every day. My last tournament, it got so bad that I couldn't lift my arms up. After fighting 3 days in a row, my arms, I couldn't keep them up. The only time I kept them up was when I was in the ring.
Another question. This is a different kind of question, but do people try you? Like, just in regular day society, they know you fight. Do they just like how are people treating you nowadays? I mean, are they like just, how are they treating you? Do people talk stuff to Angel?
Nah, not really. Some people are crazy and they do, but in reality, they're just talking. But if they don't know, there's been a couple times, and usually if someone's around that I know, or someone that even just somebody random that knows me, they'll let them know quick, like not to mess with me. But it usually doesn't get too far.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's talk about gym wars. And I know that in sparring, there's a code to where whatever happens in the sparring session stays in the sparring session. So I'm going to ask you, if you had to prefer, are you more of a hard spar type of fighter, or are you kind of like light a little bit, or does it really depend on how much mouth the person has, or just how you feeling that day?
Nah, I tend to work with people. There's a lot of times where I get in a ring with people and I'm not in shape, and it's just gyms coming down from other places, and I mean, for the most part, majority of my sparrings I get them, but then there's times where I go back, and when I'm in shape and they see that difference, and I start teeing off on them, but then I'll bring it down because sparring's just. It's you're not going in there to hurt anyone. There's been times where I have hurt people, and it wasn't intentional. It just was hitting them with a good shot. But usually, if I see them hurting them too bad, I back off and ease off a little bit. So I don't go in there with the intent of hurting every single person I get in a ring with. It's just a learning thing, and I feel like a lot of people fail to realize that you don't. I know it's someone that in a ring with you, but you guys got to go in there to learn, and you can always work on something, even if you're going against someone that's throwing a lot of punches at you. You feel like you gotta, hit them with one good back. No, just work on your defense or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, hey, question, Angel. First time you got a sizable boxing check. How did that feel? Like, I mean, were you kind of like, oh, like what happened? Like, what is, like, this is crazy. Like, did you go and splurge? Did you put it up? Did you buy something for moms? Like, how was that?
I took with the money with the first nice check I got. I bought a dog, and it was probably one of my best investments I ever had.
Yeah, those are
So
needed.
you breed it? Do you breed?
No, I don't breed. It just was,
Oh, okay.
a dog that I bought, Frenchie.
Got you. Okay.
So, hey Tez, you got anything, Tez? I don't want to leave you hanging. You just chilling. So
I think he froze.
I got a question for you. Because in boxing right now, and I know I know you're into the boxing world right now. There's a lot of changes that's happening. So you see a lot of fighters now. They're signing with Turkey, Belgique, and to be honest, it's some good fights that's happening. How do you feel about the state of boxing right now, especially with you coming up? Like, how do you feel about the state of boxing right now?
I think it's at an all-time high, honestly. I feel like the like the Jake Paul's, the YouTuber game, they actually brought more light, even though I hate to admit it because I don't like YouTube boxing. They did put that shine on boxing, and as you can see, Turkey as well. He's paying fighters what they need to get paid,
Yeah.
and everyone like everyone's starting to notice. If you guys want these big fights, you have to pay the money, and they're starting to make that happen. So that's why these big fights are starting to happen, and I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, me too. I love the fact that I always say that fighters, if anything, you pay the fighters how much they need to get paid because they're the ones that's getting in that ring and they putting their life down. Like it should never be like I know with our podcast, when it comes to like money negotiations, we never get in the middle of that because like and for people that's tuned in, like keep this in mind. Like you should never tell a fighter how much he is worth, especially when he's giving his life in that ring. Whatever that fighter says he wants, you give it to that fighter, especially if he's going in the ring and he's doing his thing, he's getting a name for stuff like that's one thing I do respect about Turkey as well. He's paying these fighters and also he's exposing these fighters too, Angel. Like
Hmm.
if somebody duck, he gonna tell. He gonna
Yeah,
tell.
you're going to tell for sure.
Yeah. So
But like to add on to what you're saying, another reason why it was hard to get a lot of fights happening, and I really like Turkey because he's kind of like the middleman. That's
mhm,
kind of so before what I was thinking, like how things were running is you
mhm,
have two, like say one person with one promotional company, you want another person to fight another promotional company. It's usually harder to make that happen
yeah,
because why would one promotional company go and fight another promotional company as a champ when they might have another fighter in their own stability and they'll gain a
Hmm.
full revenue as opposed to maybe a percentage. Now Turkey's throwing himself in the mix. He's making sure everyone gets the same purse that they're supposed to receive, no matter who throws the card, where the card is located. Everyone makes their money and everyone makes the right profit.
mm,
So
yeah,
he's
That's
helping with
nice.
putting on them fights for sure.
yeah. And the good thing is too about that, the promoters are following the line, and they have no choice. But you know what I mean?
If
You got some
the money
promoters.
makes sense, why not? And
Yeah.
that's the way they're going about it.
Hmm.
Now the money's not a problem. It seems like.
Yeah. So I know I asked you about the politics of this, and I know you have a career right now where you're still young. But if you could probably answer this, what is your major goal for like your boxing career? Like, some people want to be 3 division champ and lead a game. Some people just want to be a champion. But what's your ultimate goal for your boxing career?
I want to be a 3-time undisputed champion at 140,
Ooh.
147, 154. I want to be
Yeah,
a male boxer to do that. So
yeah,
I tend to do.
yeah,
That's
and
a lot of fighting.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
and the NyQuil you got in your hands, like you'll get there very soon. You'll get there soon. You'll get like you got the grit, you got the perseverance, like you got that it factor, man. Like you got something that you have to be born with. Like people don't understand when you broke your leg how hard that is. Like, cause I don't box, but I do it for workout on the bag, and like I can just imagine. And that was your lead foot as well. That was your lead. Like, oh man, I can just only imagine the pain you were going through, but you still went to the gym and you did that. And like that's the it factor, man. You got the heart of a champion, and like I always say, you don't need a belt. A belt doesn't always make a fighter a champion. It's their heart, their determination, what they showing up me, grit. That's what makes them a champion, and that's exactly what you are, Angel.
Thank you.
Hey, I got a question. With the lifestyle changes, like what's been different, and do you bet on yourself? We had fighters in the past who's like, oh, I'm about to bet on myself, and I'm gonna win and all this stuff. And like, how has your lifestyle changed, and do you bet on yourself?
So the ways that my lifestyle has changed, I gotta lead by example for the younger ones. So when I get in the gym, I try to help everyone out as much as I can, and I also try to make it like a happy area for kids. Because growing up, I had people to do that for me, and I'm actually thankful for it because it was actually my older cousins. I went into the gym and it wasn't always work, and even when if it was work, they made it fun. They laughed, joked with me. So I try to do that with the younger ones, and I also try to teach them, things that I wasn't taught growing up. So I always gotta lead by example, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I want to go in the gym and I don't feel like working out, but I can't, slack. Because, I always have someone looking up to me, especially in my gym. So when I miss a couple days, I do feel bad. Or if I'm at the gym and I'm slacking off too much, because I know I have these younger kids looking up to me.
Yeah.
But betting, no, I don't bet. I don't bet, period. It's a sin, so I try not to do that.
Yeah.
We got somebody here. Mikey says he's the real deal. Indeed, he is, Mikey. He is the real deal.
That's my cousin, the one I was talking about earlier. I'm pretty sure he used to box. He's the one that I used to be in the gym with 24/7 when I was younger.
Oh, nice, Mikey. We
Yeah,
might have to get you on the show.
Shout out to Mikey, man. We might have to get him on here. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna get Antonio and Montana on here too, and we're gonna ask them the same question and see who they if they think they gonna beat you to ring. Yeah, so we talked about the politics. We asked you how you felt about boxing, but one thing we didn't ask you, who is your top 5 favorite fighters right now in boxing right now?
Top 5 fighters active?
Yep.
All right, you got Canelo. We got Bud Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bivol, and I like Tank.
Nice.
Who you got winning between Crawford and Canelo? When you letting that slide?
I've talked about this multiple times. If it's at 168, I got Canelo. He's just gonna be too big. But if it was old Canelo welterweight versus Bud Crawford welterweight, I got Bud.
Somebody you mentioned, Bivol, man. I love Bivol's style. Like, I think Bivol got like one of the best styles. Like, how it's like an illusion. It's like he'll come in and hit you, and then by the time he hit you, no distance, like you missed everything. But Better Be kind of showed us that anything is possible.
Yeah, he did
in that fight.
Because we definitely just knew Bivol was going in there, and I was calling that a stoppage. I'm like, he gonna go in there and stop that man, but it's boxing.
Yeah, Mikey said that Bud ain't gonna have the chin. I agree, Mikey. When Canelo, one thing about Canelo, when you hear Canelo say, you know, he everything in the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. Mikey on here going crazy. He's like, yeah.
Yeah. Canelo, and the thing is, Canelo got a crazy chin, and he's just gonna step to him. High guard, he gonna come in, and it's not gonna be anything he could do. Like you said, Angel, at 168, come on, bro. We done seen that man in the ring with bigger guys than him and have to take him down, and has done well doing that. So a smaller guy, yeah, shadow realm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
so.
But yeah, before we wrap everything up, Angel, anything you want to say, like any shout outs, tell everybody your social media and everything and how to contact you.
Yeah, I want to give a huge shout out to my uncle, Carlito Perez. I don't think I'll be as far as I am without him. He pushes me to the limit. In the gym, outside the gym, he's always reminding me I gotta stay focused. I want to also give a huge shout out to his son, Juan Perez. He's actually the reason why I got into the gym. So I want to give a huge shout out to him for always being my partner in crime in the gym and, helping me, pushing me to be better, and also allowing me to be a representative for him, for the Perez name. But you can follow me on IG at young_poppy12323 and on Facebook at Angel Perez.
Yep, and just look out for him, y'all. G, you got anything you want to say before we close it out?
No, I really ain't got too much. I just want to say we appreciate having you on the show for sure. I'm gonna send you. Well, a matter of fact, I'm gonna get CJ to get your shipping address because I got a t-shirt brand. It's called Supreme Genetics, and it literally highlights people just like you that come from a family of doing whatever, maybe arts, maybe it be sports, and the brand just symbolizes somebody who got that natural talent from their family heritage. And I'm gonna definitely send you a shirt, man, and I think you fit it so well, man. That'll be dope. So I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna get a shipping address from CJ. We're gonna send you something. Definitely.
Cool. Appreciate it.
For sure. And I also want to tell you, Angel,
Sure.
before we lock it up, Boss and Head Podcast is a home for you, man. You can always come here, the whole Perez family, everybody, because we know the whole Perez family fights. This is home. Capital Punishment Boxing Club, any fighters there, this is home. If you want a platform or you got something on your mind, you like, you know what, Charles, I got something on my mind, man. It's this fighter, man. He just been bothering me, man. I just want to get this off my chest. This is home for you. If there's anything that we can do, through your boxing career to help me, and if there's anything, we here. Once you joined us and joined the podcast, you are a family for life, man. So we're gonna be following you, and we're gonna be there for you if you need anything. Boss and Head Podcast is always here for you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And how we
sure.
Yep. We keep it boxing. We keep it in the square circle. Angel Sharpie Perez, CJ, Greg the Boxing Enthusiast. We out.
If you taking jabs in life, you ain't got a puncher's chance. Watch me lay these hands like a preacher gained a bunch of fans. Ain't about who the favorite, who the best. They a bunch of stands. Know I'm highly favored cause these fists got me out mini jam. They say fight the power, but I got power to fight now. Know we gon'